And we're back. Once again, this is Dominate the Day, God's Way, hosted by me, SaDon Long. And I'm right in the same spot you found me last week, which is championing and encouraging people during the toughest time of the year. Because this is the toughest time of year. If you look statistically, suicides are up, child abuse is up, domestic violence is up during this time of year. And I don't pretend to have all the answers. But one thing I do know, that a lot of this stuff is about shame and powerlessness. Shame and powerlessness. So take a second and sit back and listen to what I'm about to tell you. See, this time of year is when most people start looking at their lives and saying that I don't have what somebody else has, or I should have more, I should have done more. And because of that, they feel bad. And this is the time of year where a lot of other people are saying, that's not me. But the truth of the matter is we all have some level of shame. We all have some level of doubt in our lives. Let's think about it like this. How many of you have ever heard the phrase, what happens in this house stays in this house? Or what happens between me and you stays between me and you? Or what happens in this department stays in this department? See, nobody has ever said that about a good deed or an act of kindness. Nobody's ever said, well, don't tell anybody, that I did something good for you. Most of the time when you have to hide something, it's because you're embarrassed about it. It's because you feel ashamed of it. And a lot of us are carrying things that aren't us to carry. We weren't necessarily given the right tools in the beginning. We were actually born into a lot of the things that we're hiding. A lot of us are hiding failure, financial difficulties, we hiding abuse, and you can't get past that stuff if you don't reveal that stuff. You can't have power over it until you get over it. See, when you are carrying this stuff around, and I know you're gonna say, yeah, that ain't me, that's not my story, but when you carrying this stuff around, it's keeping you back. It's manifesting itself in all kinds of different ways. Yeah, you might have a car, you might have a house, you might have a job, and you're like, man, I'm good. But all your relationships are toe up. People see you at the job, they turn and go the other way. They calling you the B word. They saying that you're hard to deal with. So maybe you keep job hopping. Or maybe it's manifesting itself in your weight, because now you need this insulation, this protection from the world, and you're trying to keep people out, you're trying to keep people from doing something to you. So now you're packing on the pounds because you don't want people to see you as a attractive person. So that keeps you silent and invisible. Or maybe it's manifesting itself in your relationships. You can't truly love because you've never been loved. You don't know what love looks like. You've only seen people yell and lie and abuse one another. So now your relationships are all toxic. You can't admit to someone that you're going through something, or that you haven't gotten over something, because you think if you tell them, then they won't love you no more. You think if you tell that guy that you've been abused, that he's going to look at you differently. And this time of year, all of that stuff is just swirling around in people's lives. And we're not dealing with it. We're not talking to it. But today I want to give you some support, and I want to tell you, first of all, that I love you. And I understand, and I've been there. I might not have experienced the same thing as you, but I've experienced some of the same kinds of feelings. And the things that have helped me and the things that work for me are, first and foremost, you got to get a new family. Now, I mean you need to leave your family in the sense that, your family's a bad group of people, but you need to leave and go get help. Consider this family situation that you're in right now as being stranded on an island. And you got to get off the island to go get help. I'm a fan of John Bradshaw. John Bradshaw was talking about he was in AA. And he said in AA, no matter what he said, no matter what despicable, low-down, dirty, dastardly thing he told them about what he'd done when he was addicted to drugs, they accepted it. They supported him. They told him that he loved them, that they were there for him. So you got to get around people who are not going to judge you and not going to shame you, who if you tell them that you're struggling and you ain't paid your mortgage in 2 months, they're not going to ask you, well, how you fall into that? How'd that happen? But around some people who can really say, well, this is what we need to do, that can give you the help and put you in touch with the people who can help you. Because unfortunately, most of us just around people who speak the same language we speak. People who allow us to be comfortable in our mess. People who say, well, yeah, you're right, it is their fault. As opposed to people saying, well, what role did you play in it? As to people saying, well, what are you going to do about it? So you have to get around people who have the skills to help you, whether it be social organizations, whether it be support systems, whether it be going into the shelters and admitting, hey, I need help. Bible talks about humbling yourself. Humbling yourself is admitting that you can't do it alone. If you can't talk to your pastor, find somebody who you can talk to. And then the second part of this is you have to separate yourself from the situations. What somebody did to you does not define who you are. If they fired you, or if your business failed, or if your relationship failed, you are not a failure. That means that the situation failed. And in most cases, you really never had the tools to have a successful relationship. Because your mama ain't have one, your daddy ain't have one, they wasn't modeling healthy relationships for you. So how do you really know how to have one? You started a business on faith. You didn't have business mentors and people who had gone through this before to say, well, this is what you need to do, or this is what you can expect. So stop thinking that you're a failure just because the situation went bad. It happens to the just and the unjust. So separate yourself from it and get some help. And remember, I love you and I'm here for you. Anything I can do to direct you to some social services or to direct you to some counselors, I will do it. We've had people from all those areas on the show, so they're friends of mine. So you can go to SaDonLawn.com, hit the contact button, send me an email. You can just say, hey, man, I need some help on the inbox and Instagram or Facebook. And I'll do whatever I can to direct you to the sources. And if it's something I can do to help you, you got my word, I'll do it. Now, that's what we're starting today, but that's not what we're finishing. Now, today I got two people on the show, man, that I am really impressed and excited about. One of them I've known since she was a child, and she has a great partner, and they do a great work. And I want to introduce to you the Johnsons. Today we're going to meet the Johnsons. And they are the owners of Wish It Clean. So, Dominate Nation, welcome the Johnsons to the show.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
What's up?
Good morning. Tell them who you are now.
My name is Breton Johnson.
And I'm Alexis.
And they are?
Wish It Clean.
Amen. So what is Wish It Clean?
Wish It Clean is a commercial and residential cleaning service. We cover the Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland area. We've been in business about 2 years now. It's me and my wife who own the business.
Okay. So not only is this a business, this is a joint venture between you and the wife.
Right, right, definitely. It's a partnership.
Okay. So how do two, now you guys are under 30, right?
Yeah, under 30.
Okay.
26.
And I'm 27.
26 and 27, babies. So how do two people under 30 decide to start their own business?
You know what, I think that, like you said before, the circles that you're around will enable you to see the things that you can do. So one thing was my best friend, he started a business, and it showed me that I was able to do it.
Okay.
And then I went ahead and did it my own way. So I had it in the cleaning business. And also, it's nothing like having your own.
Absolutely.
So, that was the thing that we wanted to do, was have our own and give us something to even pass down to our family and our children. We got 2 little girls.
Hey man, look, married, parents, the whole nine. So why cleaning?
Well, I'll speak on that. So, cleaning was something that was really embedded into Breton, his upbringing, something that came very easy for him. For me personally, I was just, joining in on the works of his labor and just being a helper with it. And it's something that everyone does on a daily basis. It's something that is needed. And we noticed that once we got started, that this is something that people need. They most times don't have time to actually clean, or it's a stressor. So it's something that is needed in the community. So that's why we went ahead full time with it.
Okay,
so what's commercial cleaning? Because I know you said commercial.
Yeah, commercial cleaning is pretty broad. It could be either office cleaning. We also do salons, barbershops. We buff floors.
Okay.
Realtors, we work with realtors, cleaning, move in and move out apartments also. So that's the commercial side of it. Residential side would be, your regular home cleaning, window washing, carpet cleaning, things of that nature. That's more reoccurring cleaning for, your homeowners.
Okay, so this time of year especially,
Yeah.
You know, with people, it's snowing on the ground if you're watching or you listening in Chicagoland area, you got snow on the ground, so you're probably tracking that stuff in and out of your church, you're tracking it in and out of your house. So do you guys do steam cleaning or any of that kind of stuff?
Yes, we do steam cleaning. You know, we want everybody to enjoy their holidays and enjoy their family, so we want to come in and take that load off of you of cleaning after the mess has been put in your home, because we know that you want to entertain your family when they come into town, and we want to take that load off of you and just clean up for you. So, you know, we do upholstery cleaning, so, you know, if you got your cousins over and they're sitting down dirtying up the couch or whatnot, we can come over and clean that up so they won't leave the funk in your couch in your living area.
Amen. Yeah. So basically what you said is, so we got real good Christmas, we can tear the place up and just turn up. Yeah. And then the next day we can just go to the mall and you guys are going to come in and make it new again.
Just Wish It Clean.
Call Wish It Clean, exactly. That's the name.
Okay. Yeah. So why not go get a job, man? I mean, you guys are in your 20s, and I know traditionally, you know, we go to college and we go find a job at a company. Yeah. So why not that?
Well, for me, you know, I was really on that road, and I was climbing up what they call the corporate ladder, and expecting promotions and expecting positions. And for me, it was going too slow. Okay. And I knew my ability, and I knew as long as I applied myself in the way that I had in my heart, that I would be that I would be fruited. You know, that good would come out of it.
That God will reward you.
Yeah, right. That God will reward me. So I had to create my own business, my own service, to know that my efforts would not be overlooked. So, you know, I stepped out on faith because I had a 9-to-5 job, and I had something that, you know, most people would think is promising. But, you know, having your own business takes those limits off of things.
Okay.
You know.
And cousin Alexis, she's not actually my cousin, but I've been calling her since she was a kid. So, as a wife, how do you know, when a man comes to you and says, well, you know, babe, we're going to start a cleaning business, and he leaves at 9-to-5. What do you do for my ladies at home?
All right, for my ladies at home, let's just be honest. It was definitely like a shocker. Like, really? Like, so we just going to go to zero money, and then we're going to start a business, you know? But I saw that God was working with Breton, you know, so I had to, you know, kind of put my worries aside and just kind of follow the vision that God gave him for the business. And, you know, ever since I actually did that, it's been rewarding, you know, and something that we stand on is John chapter 15, verse 5, which it says, you know, that God is the vine and we are the branches, you know. And
so you got to bear some fruit.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we'll produce fruit if we just kind of stay attached to that vine, you know. And so that's what we stand on, you know, that the fruit will come as long as we keep God, you know, where he needs to be within our business, within our marriage, within our family and our relationships.
Okay. So that's since we being honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did people say? Because I know both of you guys, you know, you got a job, you got a wife, you got kids, you know, she, you know, is accomplished in her own right. So what do people say?
Yeah. Well, first, some people were like, you know, oh, y'all just cleaning? You know, it wasn't nothing like major for them. It was like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's nice. You know, kind of just, you know, the mellow excitement. You know, like, okay. But then when they seen we had like certain contracts with people, or, you know, like people were, you know, liking our Facebook page, sharing it, you know, really out there, like, oh, okay, they actually are making money off this stuff, you know. Then it was like a, you know, okay, maybe they are actually doing something, and I'm speaking really for family, because it's, you know, families see you and they want, you know, the promising job and stuff for you. But when you actually, you know, kind of just doing it on your own, making your own way, it's like, okay, what about 401k, or what about, you know, certain things like that. And at this point, we're building that so that way we don't have to rely on it, you know. Retirement, we'll actually be living in wealth when it comes that time.
Exactly. So what's the hard part in the transition, Pete?
Yeah, the hard part in owning the business for me really is having the faith and allowing God to stretch your faith. So, you know, when you have a business, you know that everything that's coming in is from your efforts and the things that you're doing, and of course from God. So when you have a 9-to-5, you know that every other Friday or every Friday that check is coming in. So as long as you clock in, don't matter how hard you work, you're going to get your check. So when you have a business, you have to make sure that you're applying yourself every day, that you're praying, that you are connected with God, that your relationship with Him is growing, so that He continue to pour into your business. So that faith is something that has been a challenge for me, and He's allowed me to grow my faith in my business. So that's the biggest thing, and that's the biggest challenge for me.
Okay, man. So basically, you got to get up every day hustling.
Right.
Yeah. So no days off. No, I can sleep late. I got to get up and know that I got to with my family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you got to wake up early. I usually wake up about like 5:30.
Okay.
Get my day started, and the early bird gets the worm. So.
That's right.
Exactly. So we just getting out there and we doing what we got to do to make sure that we get money each and every day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for people at home, because a lot of people just don't know how to start.
Mhm.
They think they need a lot of money. They think they need all these different things in order to get going. So how did you guys get started?
Well, so because cleaning was kind of embedded into Bertan, his mind, we were already brainstorming, like, what kind of business can we start with little to no money? It became a thought process for us for a few months, and, he prayed about it, I prayed about it, and so it happened, he said, like, let's do a cleaning business. We could buy a broom and a mop and a bucket and some water, like, we could actually afford those items, So I was kind of little like, I don't know if I want to be cleaning. Like, I just got my hair done, I just got my nails done, things like that. Like, really?
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it, and I'll just watch you, But actually, I got a job opportunity to work at a apartment complex cleaning, for the summertime. And I was just like, really? Right after he told me, let's try to do a cleaning business, someone came to me with a job offer. And I was like,
Look how God works.
well, I guess I can try this out to see if this will work for us. So I took the job, and then it actually worked. It was pretty easy for me. I enjoyed just when the people would come in, the club office was kind of just beautiful. And they were like, who cleaned this place? It smells great in here. Things like that. I really enjoyed that feedback from them. And so I came home to Bertan like, you know what? I think we could actually do a cleaning business, And, still just because his vision was there already, but I just felt like I needed to attach myself to it. And that kind of gave me that attachment, like, okay, yes, we can definitely do this. We can definitely change people's lives and actually, make money off of it. So I actually wound up quitting that job, and we started our cleaning business.
I had to definitely talk her into that, quitting her job. I made her quit her job first.
Amen.
Yeah, so, I think sometimes, especially when you're starting a business and you have a business partner, especially if of course it's your wife, you have to show them, what this business is going to do for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you got to put it on paper, hey, this is going to do this for us, and once I did that and I showed her what we could really do with this cleaning business, she, started to get on with it and get on board, and it took a little minute, but then she went ahead and quit her job first, and she was doing the cleaning 100%.
Yeah.
So.
And no looking back.
No looking back. No way. No way.
And see what, for me, it was like in one day while I was working, in one day I could make the most money cleaning my own business than I could in 1 week working for somebody else.
Okay, so you just stay consistent, the money's there.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all consistency.
Amen. So what else do you guys have planned? Because I know that ministry and faith is a part of who you are as people in general. So what's some of the other stuff you're looking to do?
Well, we're looking to work with the youth. We're looking to, with the business, really to just open it up to be able to hire, youth and just kind of teach them, just skill and just responsibility and things like that. So eventually we will look to open up the business to hire, subcontract, youth for the summertime, things like that. Outside of that, we do attend the Cross Church where we, just embed our faith. And
Shout out to the Cross.
Shout out to the Cross Church.
That's SaDon Ramirez.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pastor Ramirez is a good guy.
Amen.
Really like him.
Definitely.
Okay. So now the people at home, you guys are married.
Yeah. For 3 years, and so we've been doing the business for majority of our marriage, and for us, it helped us to build on our relationship, So being able to work together is a whole different thing than just living with each other. Because when I was working my 9 to 5, of course, you only see me when I got home, and then we try to catch up in that small amount of time. Now we work together, we live together, and of course we parent together because we have kids. So. We have to be able to build our relationship and separate our business and, family relationship. So that's a challenge right there. So you have to make sure that you set your roles in your business so that then, it won't get mixed in with your family roles. Very important.
So in other words, we're going to make some decisions business-wise that we can't fall out with personally.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yes, and we've definitely experienced that, just being honest. Like, I had to kind of get my emotions out of it. He's like, this is strictly business. I'm like, but still, I'm like, but I'm your wife. But it's like, no, this is strictly a business decision. We're partners, and so we respect each other's, visions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how does it feel being on your own? I mean, what's the feeling that you get from looking at those signs and looking at the page and seeing your work? What do you feel?
I really feel accomplished, actually. Like, especially in the community. We were driving past like a certain neighborhood. I'm like, wow, we've been to like 4 or 5 houses in this neighborhood, and it's like, I told him, let's get a map and let's start like just putting stickers on where we've been, as far as the business, because it's like we're touching a lot of homes. And when we enter these homes, we're not just cleaning. Like, we're praying that God will just bring peace for the holidays, just continue to bless them, things like that. So we know that those homes are, a little bit better when we walk out of it, not only just on the natural, but spiritual too,
Okay. So what exactly would you say is the biggest thing that somebody needs to know if they're ready to walk out on faith and leave a job and, as a family, make this kind of move? What's the thing?
Well, I think definitely the thing is not waiting until everything is perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we say, well, I'm gonna start this soon as I get this right, or as soon as I get my credit right, then I can get my loan to build a big building, and then I can do what I want to do. And we never act on it, or we never get those things in order. But the big thing for us is once you start your business, you'll have that responsibility of, hey, this is my own and I need to take care of it. So everything else will start to get in line. And once we got our name and once we got our logo, is when God started to pour into it. So you have to act first so God can act and pour into it.
So step out on faith.
Step out on faith.
And faith without works.
Stop waiting.
Amen. So not only step out on faith, but put that grind to it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So how do people get in touch with you?
You guys can visit us. We have a website, wishitcleanllc.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Wish It Clean LLC. We were actually on Yelp as of a few months ago. So Yelp app, if you have that, you can check us out, Wish It Clean LLC on there. Our phone numbers are 219-888-0795. That's my personal line. And Breton's is 219-888-0768. And you can get in contact with us like that.
Okay. So we clean homes.
We clean homes. We clean businesses.
We clean churches.
We clean churches.
Okay. So now for my church folk out there, this time of year, we having all these Christmas programs.
There we go.
We got watch nights coming up.
Yeah.
So we want to get the church spick and span for the holidays. I know your trusty deacon, he probably trying to go to Mississippi or something for the holiday. So you can call these guys, and they'll come in and they'll tighten that up for you. We got people tracking all kind of snow and stuff into the sanctuary, and we want to give the best presentation possible for those who are gonna come serve and worship with us over the holidays. So reach out to them. Hey, give them the one more time.
219-888-0795. WishItCleanLLC.com is the website to visit us on. And also on our Facebook page, we have a lot of reviews and prices and things like that. You can check us out on there.
Okay. Well, I want to thank the Johnsons for coming out today. I appreciate them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You are so welcome, and you're truly deserving of it.
Thank you.
Now, we got some other stuff coming up. Did you know about, Alexis? We got the Pastor Holmes annual Gala Legacy of Love coming up on the 16th at the Chateau Banquet Hall. Basically, it is a fundraiser for the Benjamin Holmes Foundation. If you have a book, if you have a copy of my book, God Wants You to Dominate, you will see that he is one of the dedications in the foreword, because he is truly someone who is impactful in my life. So I want to let people know that he was a really great man, and you should come out. I mean, there'll be renowned gospel artists there. It's a formal affair. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season. Maybe you don't have a Christmas party to go to, but you could come to this. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to Antoinette Gaines at Yahoo. She'll tell you more information, and I think you should go. You know, it's a great time. There's going to be plenty of people there that you know and love, because he was beloved by people all over the country, but especially Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland area.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to New Friendship as well.
Shout out to Friendship.
You know, tomorrow you can tune in to them on this station right here at 5 o'clock. You hear the anointed voices and Pastor Royce Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to DJ.
Shout out to DJ.
You know, as well, don't forget, always follow me on Facebook. That's SaDon Long on all your social media sites. If you need any help speaking, coaching, training, staff development, hit me on SaDon Long, hit me, inbox me. We can get together and I'll tell you what you need to do to get it done, so I can help you, help your people get to the next level. We can teach them how to dominate. We can teach them how to have a clear vision for their life in 2018. For 2018, I'm running around going to dominate 18.
Yes.
You know, that's our goal. We want to thank the Johnsons again.
Yeah.
And on Monday, do not forget at 7 o'clock on this station, Run with Rand, Kick It with Kim. And Truth Is Ministries at 7 o'clock. I'm about to get out of here. I will be at the Art House at 1 o'clock. So if you want to stop through there, you will see me there, hanging out at the Art House for the poetry event. And as always, to those who have been given dominion, they were born to dominate. And I'm out.
Dominate the day God's way. To follow Mr. SaDon Long, go to SaDon on Instagram, Twitter.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Wow.